Barney's musical scrapbook is a really nice idea. This was released originally in 1997, directed by Fred Holmes and Bruce Deck, and Barney is looking through a scrapbook of memories, and that leads us into various clips from previous episodes of Barney and Friends, each one a little bit different. Nothing is really connected very well, but occasionally things will flow from one to the next. So if you prefer specials where there's a stronger overarching theme, this one may not be for you. And personally, that's the case with me as well. But because the songs in this are pretty great and very nostalgic for me, I didn't mind it. I'm watching Barney for the nostalgia, but I also enjoy analysing them for, educational purposes and seeing how beneficial they are for early years education. This one does feel a little bit more of a random special than it does giving a special message, but if it encourages any child watching it to create their own scrapbook, that in itself is pretty good. Barney's looking at his scrapbook, there are pictures of various activities and time spent with friends, and every time he comes across a new memory, it launches into that clip from a particular previous episode. I won't go into too much detail about them, but I will mention some songs that were particularly nostalgic for me. The first one is Mr. Sun, which is from Shaun and the Beanstalk. We also have And the Green Green Grass Goes All Around from the same one. We have the Barney bag mentioned at one point, so it's encouraging creativity even further. There's the number limbo, which I always think is a pretty good way to encourage some physical activity. There are scenes from Ship Ahoy, which definitely has a more fantasy element and a storytelling element that can encourage creative play. We also have the Muffin Man medley, which I love. It includes the Muffin Man, hot cross buns, and patty cake, which are so nostalgic for me and I absolutely love. So yeah, going from one scene or one clip to the next sometimes feels a little forced. It's not that organic, but the overarching narrative of Barney looking in his scrapbook kind of lends itself to that, so it's not so bad. In terms of nostalgia, there's a lot of nostalgia for me. It's also a good way for children to experience quite a variety of things in a short space of time. There are lots of small messages in here, little bits of education. I do prefer the specials where there's an overarching theme. For example, there's one that's all about seasons, and we have various songs about the seasons. I think that one's really great for providing education about seasons. This one, not so much in the same context, but it's still not too bad. There is a good mix of songs and creativity and storytelling there. So as a package, it's not too bad. Not a personal favourite, but some really nice nostalgia there. So personally, I can't complain too much.